Hi guys, welcome to day 2 of my 9-round tournament over the board. 90 minutes for the first 40 moves, 30 seconds increment, and after 40 moves an additional 30 minutes. I never needed to use that time, but today I did. It was a monster of a game, 3 hours and 45 minutes, the longest game I've ever played. It was a really nice game, so I advise you to stick around. It's very instructive from both perspectives, from my perspective, but also from my opponent's perspective. We played rather well. I played with 81% accuracy, my opponent 82, but we both made some mistakes. And it was like a positional struggle. So let's see what happens. My opponent is quite strong actually. He's rated, I know this guy, I've seen him quite a few times. Brief intro and then we'll get to the game. He's rated 1604, but he's way stronger than that. Like last week, I had a tournament also. If you haven't seen these videos, go check out my channel. The playlist over the board tournaments, July 2025. I played in group 8, the lowest group, like no rating until about 1600. He played one group higher, 16 to 1650 roughly. And he got number 1 champion. Not just a little bit, but out of 5 games, he got 4 tournament points. So it's like either 4 wins or maybe 3 wins, 2 draws. So a strong player. I wasn't really happy to be playing with him in my second round because the first round I lost against 1624. So the pairing wasn't in my favor. But anyway, let's have a look what happens. Playing with black also. Normally that's a little bit more difficult than white. And I know from this guy, he doesn't like to play the regular stuff. He's more of a pawn pusher and weird stuff. So he plays with f4. Yeah, okay. I'm only gonna stand still or keep an eye out for like inaccuracy stuff because otherwise this video is gonna take forever. And then I thought like I learned this course some while ago, like the Dutch attack, French attack, like where you push the pawn. So I thought like let's give it a go. Stuff who doesn't like it, but I wanted to challenge this pawn, and then maybe he takes and I take, and I've got a center. So this is what happened. He doesn't take, and obviously I wanted him to take because then I free up my bishop also. So now we're just developing our pieces. And I challenge the center because now he's got a nice strong center. Looking at this side of my the king side, so I already didn't feel very comfortable castling this side. So you see, I'm gonna hold on to that for a little while. And I thought, like, I think one of the good things I learned is like if someone's got like a real nice pawn structure, challenge it. And I've got like 2 defenders and only 1 attacker, so that's fine. I think he started out of the way because otherwise, if he wouldn't have and made some random move, I can take, I take, he takes, and I make him lose castling rights. So he steps out of the way. I think this is wise. Then I take, break open his pawn center, and then he recaptures. And this is quite a weak pawn. I've been trying to find my way around how to get there, but obviously like is defended, only attack once. Yeah, I didn't look for it all the time, but I kept an eye open for can I maybe grab this pawn, because obviously like 1 pawn can make the difference. But anyway, out of the opening, I'm half a point up, so that's pretty good. Yeah, this is I think a pretty good move because what I wanted to do is bring my knight out and challenge him to take it, and then I retake, and then I have 2 attacks on this pawn. Then again, he could have just brought his bishop out. But yeah, mean, you need to do some stuff to try to get like a weak pawn. But this obviously like prevents me from coming in here with the knight. So I let go of that idea. So I bring another defender to this pawn because this pawn is quite weak. And then he starts pushing the pawns. And obviously I was thinking like, oh my god, I don't want to castle into this attack. And I have two pieces to move out of the way to castle this side. And if he starts pushing, I was kind of a bit worried. But I thought like, it's okay. I'm probably safe for now. And then he pushes this pawn again. And I knew like, if he's going to push this pawn, this is just going to fall. So he can't push at the moment. So I move my bishop out, get ready to castle. So castle, and then he brings his knight into the game. Yeah, I couldn't save my bishop anymore. Only thing I could do is bring it here and here, but then I'd be doubling up my pawns. I just wanted to get like an extra defender for this pawn because I'm probably gonna have to. I'm not even quite sure anymore. It's been such a long game. My brain is fried after today. I can't really remember why I brought my rook here. Yeah, and in this moment before I made this move, and this is some information you need to know, I'm unrated. And I'm playing like a 1604, who I know is a lot stronger. So a draw for me is fine. Specifically for my rating, not as such for the tournament, because it's only giving me half a point. But I'm more interested in like getting a good rating. So I offered him a draw, and I also know that he wants to get like a good result, and he doesn't lose a lot of points when he loses against me or draws against me. But I think if he draws against me, he doesn't lose any points. And if he loses against me as an unrated player, uh, you lose some points, but not a lot. But I thought like, well, it's worth a try because I didn't see any move. I mean, these pawn pushes are not advisable, like from the regular chess perspective. I mean, he's not developed as much. He's not castled, his bishop is still here, his rooks are passive, well, my rooks are not really doing that much either, but his bishop is only looking at this pawn and this pawn, which can't be taken. Yeah. So I thought I'll just throw it in. We're only like in move 14, but I said like, well, everything is so stuck. I know it's a bit early, but what about the draw? And he said, no, it's too early. So yeah, fair enough. Never mind. We'll just carry on. I mean, at the moment, it's a draw. There's nothing going on. He pushes the pawn. So now I've castled, and he starts pushing these pawns. He first pushes these pawns. Now, so he's like a bit of a pawn pusher, and it costs him his development, but it creates a threat. Okay. And here I'm starting to make some seemingly little mistakes, but they actually turn out to be pretty big. He's pushing the pawns, and I move back. It's not the best move. Yeah, I'm not even quite sure how many times this already happened. It started. I did consider this. I did consider breaking this pawn chain. Push, take, take. Yeah, I'm not quite sure why I didn't go for it, but I did consider it. And you'll see like a lot of my inaccuracies are because Stockfish just kept wanting me to push this pawn. So bear that in mind, like my moves aren't that terrible, but pushing this pawn is the best option for quite a few moves. So where were we? Oh yeah, so like here you want to push the pawn. Oh no, actually you want me to go back. Okay. Push pawn. But I was too worried about his attack. And I wanted to, like, if he pushes now, I take, he takes, I can retake. looking at the queen, defended by my knight. So this is all the reason why I did all these things. Yeah, so he didn't like this. I obviously didn't want to push the pawn because that weakens this pawn. But this is not right what I'm doing at the moment, because I failed to notice, even though this seems to be a mistake. Oh, actually, yeah, you'll see. This is why this game is so instructive, because yeah, you'll see. I pushed the pawn because I thought like this attack is way too strong for me. If he pushes, then I can take. He retakes, and I can still take. Looking at the queen, he needs to move, and I just take trade off because he's attacking more than I am. So I thought this would be beneficial for me. And then he surprised me with this move. And obviously I don't know at that moment if it's a blunder or like a brilliant. All I could see is like if you take it, he's coming in with a check. And yeah, I mean, I had plenty of time. I should have calculated this more, because maybe I could have even won this game. Because I could have just taken it. And he checks. I'll just sit here. And he has no play. Even if he brings in like the bishop here, I can attack the knight, the queen, and this now is defended by the queen, and he needs to move, and he's just down an exchange, down a piece. But knowing my opponent is quite strong and tricky, I didn't dare go for it. So yeah, yeah. When people make these moves, it's just like you think, oh my god, what's going on? Am I missing something? And I opt more of like for the safe option. So I failed to notice that I could just take it. Taking actually, okay, taking actually brings us back to equal. Uh, yeah. So now he trades, and I'm down a pawn, and he brings an attacker on the knight, but obviously now it's defended once, but he can bring his queen in, and he attacks it twice, so I needed to respond straight away, and here I made mistake number 2. I should have gone here with the queen, but and this is so tricky about like these long-term, long games. You're thinking about defending, attacking, positions, and I was not just looking at my defense, but also thinking like I want to stack up the rooks. So I have a rook here and a rook here. Yeah, I was just thinking of all kinds of counter. Obviously, like it's far away, but his queen is in line with the king. So it's kind of thinking like this bishop goes and this pawn goes, my pawn go. Who knows? So I stepped over here, and this is a mistake. Even though stock resistance is a fair move, but now I skewered myself, so I'm about to lose a rook. I don't think it mattered where I would have gone, because he's just going to take it, and I'm going to end up here with my queen. So yeah, so now I'm down an exchange, is it's called. So I'm down one pawn, and also I'm down a rook for a bishop. So evaluation bar says I'm 3.5 points down. And this is where like kind of the squeeze begins, because he's bringing in his rook, preventing me from coming in here with my rook, taking the open file. Sure, I can go there, but he's like up 3 points. Like a rook for a bishop and a pawn, 3 points. So I don't want to go there. So now my rook is a little bit stuck. Yeah, I'm kind of struggling here, trying to find my way out. And also these pawns, he's been a little bit of a pawn pusher, but all these pawns now, and you'll see later in the game, are all preventing my knights from going anywhere. well, they can go somewhere, but not much. So now I thought he was attacking this pawn, but it's actually defended. But I wanted to bring in some defense anyway. Yeah. So now I thought like bring another defender from here so I can actually move my queen, because I was thinking like if he pushes the pawn and bring this rook in, he's pinning my queen to the king. So I actually wanted to bring back my queen at a certain point, actually here, as you'll see in a minute. Because now I'm actually looking for a check. I looked at it here already. I thought like if he doesn't do anything about this, a check. Yeah, but then I thought like he can block it with his queen or his bishop, and I didn't really want to trade pieces when I'm down. But I thought like I need to get some counterplay. But then it doesn't force me to trade, because obviously I can bring, but he's like looking at my queen, looking at the rook, so I can bring it back here or here. But I thought like, okay, this might give me some chance. I'm 4 points down, but if I trade queens, he's got 3 isolated pawns and 2 of them are doubled. So Stockfish actually agrees, and now I attack this pawn. He defends. I just didn't know what to do. I don't have too many moves, just protecting both pawns. Yeah, and this is a blunder. I'm 6 points down. I'm actually 4.4 points down, but my opponent failed to notice. And I only realized I was hanging my rook, my knight, when he put his rook here. And this is obviously not like a mouse clip on the computer, because this is over the board. So I literally put his rook there. And I told him after I moved my knight, I made a mistake. You made a mistake. You could have just taken my knight. And he was like, oh, darn it. And I was like, yeah, darn it for me too, because I didn't see it. This pawn obviously still not free because the bishop is defending it. Now he's bringing out his second rook. And yeah, details. I thought like I need to defend this square if he wants to come in with both rooks. And now he challenges my bishop. And I'm bringing back my knight, looking at the rook. And here I made a mistake apparently, because he took my bishop, and I first thought like, hang on, I can just take a rook. But then I saw like, well, actually he can, he's just taken my bishop and he can take my knight again. So he wins 2 pieces for a rook. Yeah, so I didn't quite like my odds there. So I took, Stockfish actually recommends. Okay, so now in this, I don't really understand it. In this position, I'm 4 points down. My opponent has +4, and in this way, I'm +3. My opponent's +3, so actually this seems to be better for me. And now he needs to move, so he moves here. Rook is defended by my knight, and I obviously didn't want to. I didn't want my opponent to bring in his rook and go here and munching all these pawns. So I thought like, okay, let's bring in the king closer, forcing him to make a decision, leave or take, because if he doesn't take, I'm gonna take, and he's just losing a rook. So he took, I recaptures, and obviously the rook can't come in here or here, because it defended or here or here. So the rook's kind of stuck. Yeah, so he brings his bishop out, and yeah, I don't think I made the right move here. Oh, actually, yeah. Actually, it is the right move. He's obviously attacking my pawn, and I can't defend it. Yeah, okay, this is the best option. I could have defended it with the knight, but then I invite the rook in. So that's what I didn't want to do. But then he comes in here, attacks the pawn, And I thought like if I push the pawn, he attacks my knight and there's nowhere I can go. And this is what I was talking about earlier in the game. These pawns are preventing my knights from going places. So if I would have pushed this pawn, there's literally nowhere I can go with my knight. So I would have lost my knight. And then I thought like, okay, if I go here and he takes, let's get rid of the clock. So I thought like if I go here with my knight, he takes, I take with the check and get another pawn with an attack on the rook and maybe even get this pawn. But I knew he could just step in closer. But this gives me an escape square, an escape option, because with this pawn still attacked. But now I go here. Okay, so Stockfish doesn't even like it. But I thought like now he can't take it because this is a fork winning a bishop. My opponent actually complimented me on that move, on that sequence that I found a way to save my pawn. Now he pushes the pawn so I can't come in here. But it gives me the option to defend my pawn. So now all my pawns are on the dark, except this one on the dark squares, where the bishop can't get it. Now he takes my knight, which is fine by me, but obviously I did consider he could... Yeah, he could check me with the rook. And then I have to step away. And then he might win my knight. But I can bring my knight back, defend this square from the rook coming in, and also attacking the bishop. So he decided to take my bishop, and we capture. And obviously I wasn't too happy with trading down. I mean, I'm still 4.5 points down. But at least I keep all the squares, well, a lot of squares defended so the rook can't come in. Yes, you can come in here, but I can defend my pawn, no worries. Yeah. So he steps to this direction, and I bring my, and this I was really happy with, because I could see, as I said earlier in the game, trading the queens leaves 3 isolated pawns and 2 double pawns. So now I'm looking at 1, 2, 3 pawns if he lets me. This one he can't save anymore. But yeah, and he brought his king closer, but I could see he can't come in here. Yes, he can come in here, here, but still he can't, and he can't be getting any closer. And I wanted my king to be here. Stockfish doesn't recommend it. I thought like if I take, he's gonna come in, and then I come in, and then he, oh, actually he couldn't go there. Okay. I failed to notice that. I was concerned he was gonna get this pawn, but with the knight sitting here, you can't actually take it. Okay, lesson learned. So I wasted a bit of a move. It wasn't that bad, but I wanted him to not come in. So if he would now come in, he obviously can't come in now, but if I take, he can't come in because it's undefended. That's my whole reason behind it. And then he starts to make a few bad moves because he was up 4.5 points and he's made some wrong moves. He's gone down to +4. He doesn't respond to this correctly. He's now down to 3.5 points up. He moves back. He's now +3 rather than 4.5 a minute ago. I take. He steps out of the way. Still 3 points difference. I take. And I did consider like if I take, he's probably going to go there. I take. He takes. I'll show you. Take. He attacks my knight and the pawn. But I won 3 pawns for 1. So I'm actually now only 1 point down. And evaluation bar still says it's 3 points difference. He's still 3 points up. And now I step here, so defending this pawn, but also preventing the rook from coming in anywhere because I didn't want him to go here. And yeah, get these pawns down and create a win. And this is where he moved here. And obviously, when you're over the board, the difference is 2.5 points now. Over the board, you can't see what the evaluation bar says. And I thought, honestly, at this position I said, hang on, oh yeah, and I moved back. And I said like, okay, I offered you a draw before, the offer still stands. Just keep it in the back of your mind. You don't have to decide now. But if you're willing to go for a draw, I'm happy. Or I agree on a draw. And then it took some time and he accepted a draw. And we spoke a little bit afterwards, like the good things we did and the bad things we did. And we both kind of assumed that this position was draw-ish. But actually he was winning. He was still 2.5 points up. I'm not quite sure how he would have been able to push through. He always needs to be careful of my knight going in for a fork. Like maybe he could have gone here and then I go here, but then he needs to be aware of the fork. And then I was just trying to, this is obviously like a pass pawn. And I think he kind of got worried, so he accepted the draw. He was in a winning position, but as I said before, when you're playing an unrated person, I think you're not gaining any points by winning. I think you lose a bit of points when you're losing. And if you draw, I think it's quite. I'm not sure. But he opted for a draw, and I'm really happy with it. Specifically now that I saw I'm still behind, but I think I still would have been able to bring on some threats and maybe make him forcing a mistake. So yeah, quite happy with the result. So hope you enjoyed it as much as I did, and that you found it instructive. As I said in the beginning, I think there was a lot of positional stuff going on, a lot of calculation. I fought my way back into the game, down 6 points at a certain point, I think, and down to 2.5 points down. So yeah, all together, I'm very, very happy. And so if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you wish. What did you think of it? Did I miss something? Would you have played it differently? Etc. etc. Like, share, whatever. And this is my second day of my second tournament. I played the tournament before. If you're still here watching this, go check out my channel. I also cover online rapid rating climb and a blitz rating climb. Rapid to 1500, blitz to 1200. Not playing them at the moment. Taking all my time and effort and mental stuff for my over the board games. When they're done, I'm gonna carry on with my rating climbs. Yeah. Anyway, thank you for sticking around this long if you're still watching this. And tomorrow I'll be playing a 12-year-old boy, rated 1607. But he lost the first two games. The first game was like he's playing a very strong opponent, but the second game he played a 1524. So he was sitting next to me, so I looked at their game, and I'm not too unhappy with this match, this pairing. I think I stand a good chance. I have a good feeling about this. Yeah, I think I can beat him. And it's nice to play like a young kid. Yeah, I like young people playing chess. I don't know why, but I just like people getting into this game early on. So really looking forward to that. I'm playing with white. So hopefully getting my Jababa London in. See if I can surprise my opponent. So keep an eye out for that game, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye then.